up, Lions fans? It's your boy, the Analytics Den. So, I want to give my little thoughts on the Gerard Davis signing. I don't believe I ever made a video for that. And then, of course, I want to talk about an announcement I'm going to make for my channel and all that jazz. So, first off, when it comes to Gerard Davis, the first thing is, let me pull it up on my Yo, what up, Justin May? How you doing, man? So the first thing with Gerard Davis is Detroit Lions fans. I kind of wrote this up here, but for whatever reason, my select window screen allow. So Detroit Lions fans are baffled with the reappearance of a familiar face coming back to Detroit. And no, it's not Kelvin Johnson coming out of retirement to play for Dan Campbell, nor did the Lions sign Michigan football star Jabril Peppers. Instead, they brought back the 2017 first-round pick from Florida, Gerard Davis. Bore some painful memories of the player after all. He was a bust. So why did Detroit bring back the old Florida product? To start off, look at what the Lions have done in free agency the past 2 seasons. The Lions have had a bunch of players on one-year deals with low-risk, high-reward players. Charles Harris, Tyler Williams, DJ Chark, Alex Anzalone, along with Curly Raymond, who were all one-year deals. And Harris, Alex, and Raymond were signed to second contracts. The Lions clearly know they're in a rebuild and prefer to sign players on one-year prove-it deals with the rebuild instead of adding expensive free agents, unlike the Bash regime, that gave ridiculously large contracts to players like Trey Flowers, Jesse James, and Justin Coleman. It tells us what the Lions want to do with right now, which loads risk moves with high rewards. Now, how does this relate to Jared Davis? Well, for one, Jared Davis was signed a one-year deal. He does have a high reward chance as well, shown by two things. One is athletic ceiling. Davis scored 9.07 relative athletic score. 2, his 2018 season, he had 100 tackles and 6 sacks, 10 QB hits, 10 tackles for loss, and 17 quarterback pressures per Pro Football Reference. Just adding some hope and positivity via analytics. Gerard Davis had, if this would show up, okay, I guess that won't show up. He had some really good pressure stats, if it would show up. Okay, well, I guess the Gerard Davis stats won't show him. I'm going to use Mac Dumas for once, and he failed me. But basically, it's some really good pressure stats. So in the end, Davis signing is no different than any other Lions ads, and Campbell appears to like him. So let's just hope in the end he ends up like Charles Harrison's the right result, and if not, nothing to freak out about. I do think he will have a role as like a situational pass rusher and run stuffer. I don't think he'll be a starter. He has to earn that. All right. What up, Joseph? How you doing, man? I don't know. Am I subscribed to you? I have so many people I'm subscribed to, Justin. Let me look. I didn't even know you had one, actually. Go to channel. I am not subscribed to you. There you go. I'm subscribed to you now. Who's my pick? Trading down is my pick. Joseph. That's probably got to be my big thing. Is I'm not really a fan of anyone at 2. I'm a couple things. My issue is Aiden Hutchinson's not going to be available, and he's the guy who I really thought the Lions should have selected at pick number 2 overall. I'm just not the big enough fan of Kayvon Thibodeau since his film is just really 50-50 split, and he's just such a horrible run defender. Would have won pride. And so that's led to me not really liking anyone because I think Trayvon Walker is an interesting player. The problem is he was a rotational player. He was a starter, but he also rotated out a lot because of that insane Georgia defense. But he doesn't. He's like Kayvon Thibodeau, where he doesn't have pass rushing, but he's high effort and he's an elite run stuffer. That's what makes him different. And so I want to trade down and take someone. I think trade down is something the Lions should absolutely push for, even if it's not a huge amount of value. It is the way to go. Now, If we were to be stuck at 2, I have no idea where I'd go. Like, especially since Hutch is most likely not to be available. But if I were the Lions, I would probably, yeah, actually, you know what, I know. I would definitely draft Trayvon Walker because of the fact that he's already great at one thing, and that is run stuffing. And that's going to make it a lot easier to get better as a pass rusher because he's going to be able to not per se ignore improving his run defender, but he's also going to be a lot easier for him to focus on the thing he's not as good at, and that is pass rush, which, well, it's going to be better for him. He's also has some amazing versatility. Um, he can play 5 tech, 3 tech. I've even heard a couple people say he can play like 0. He can play those outside linebacker positions. But the thing is, I also think it'd be really nice if we could put Walker at 5 tech, Levi at 3 tech, have our outside linebackers be Romeo, Charles Harris, and Julian. I feel like I would do that some pass rush, and we also have McNeil's a 2. I mean, at the end of the day, one pride, I think all the guys are kind of raw. Kayvon Thibodeau's raw. Walker's going to be raw. It's really, at the end of the day, it's getting the most value. And I'm more trade down. If you can trade down, do it. Even if it's like something like just getting a second round pick or something. Get that trade down. So Joseph's question is, what's more of a position of need, safety or stopping the run? Okay, so it's obviously stopping the run. Um, Safety really isn't that valuable of a position. If I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, it is one of the least valued positions in the NFL. Uh, if I had a comparison for it, in terms of it's like the running back of the defense. It's more valuable than running back, but safeties, unless you're like a Tyrann Mathieu, just aren't really as impactful as per se just like a good edge rusher. If you have a good edge rusher and you have a good safety, the good edge rusher will make more of an impact. If you have a great edge rusher versus an elite safety, the great edge rusher will make more of an impact. An example of this is Trey Hendrickson in Cincinnati and Jesse Bates. Jesse Bates had an even better year actually last year. When he didn't have Trey Hendrickson, he actually kind of had a little bit of a worse year. But the Bengals defense improved because they had Trey Hendrickson. And that's just the difference. Even their linebacker, Logan Wilson and Jermaine Pratt did way better when they got Hendrickson. And so when you get like pass rushers or people that can actually improve something, they do better. Or if you get things that aren't safety, it just shows the value of it. When you got a great player who's arguably the best safety in football, like Jesse Bates, not making the same impact, there's an issue. Well, and yes, this is also true, right? The thing is, I totally see Seattle and Atlanta and Carolina try to. The thing is, I'm not a big fan of Carolina because they don't have really any value right now. But I'm much more a fan of like Atlanta and Seattle, who I think could very much be up there. Atlanta is stuck with Marcus Mariota at quarterback, and they obviously are trying to go for the future after they tried to trade for Deshaun Watson. And I just don't see them being fine with Marcus Mariota. I guess maybe he could be their bridge per se, but I think they're interested. And Seattle, Drew Lock is not even bridge quarterback as of yet. He was one of the worst quarterbacks in football the last 2 years. And it was with a stacked team. It's not like he was on a horrible, horrible squad. He had himself a good team over there. So you've been going back with Hamilton or Trayvon Walker. You also like Jordan Davis. So Hamilton Davis, the issue there, positional value. Jordan Davis, I think he's going to be an elite nose tackle. Nose tackles do not play that many snaps. They are not as valuable. It would be really not make any sense to draft one at number 2. Hamilton, I think is fantastic, but I think he's a strong safety prospect. I don't see him much as a free safety. More importantly, safeties do not have the value of edge rusher. At the end of the day, and it's not even like Hamilton's the only good safety. There's guys like Jaquan Brisker, Lewis Sine, a couple other guys I'm forgetting. I can't even remember. Oh yes, here it is. Let me just pull up my PFF big board. So Jaquan Brisker, Lewis Sine, Marquise Bell, Nick Cross, yeah, those kind of guys. Those guys are around. And so at the end of the day, I'm just not the fan of drafting Hamilton when you can get a good edge rusher too. And I'm just not a fan of the edge rushers past the big five. I know a lot of people are big fans of Boye Mafe, but I just don't think Boye Mafe is going to make more of an impact than, for say, Charles Harris did last year. Maybe Nick Bonito. Maybe. Sam Williams. I do really like Sam Williams, but he's also just not projected to go that high. And again, I just don't think he'll make that much more of an impact than Charles Harris, or even Romeo Gore for that matter. And if you're going to draft an edge, you're going to draft a guy who has a ceiling to be better than our current edge rushers. And that's the difference. Best case scenario, trade down and get Trayvon Walker. I'm more of a fan of trading down and getting Jermaine Johnson. I'm a really big Jermaine Johnson guy. The guy is very good versus the run like Trayvon, but just more polished as a pass rusher compared to Trayvon. I'm kind of falling off the Arnold train a bit. I just don't think he's good enough in the run. No, he's just not the threat in the run game that he is, and I just don't think he's really that. Again, I don't think his ceiling is that much higher than Charles Harris. I don't think he really is that Harold Landry ceiling. I think maybe he has it, but the problem is when people say, "Oh, this person has a ceiling," people automatically think they'll be that. Odds are they're going to be in the middle of their floor and their ceiling. They're going to be somewhere in between that. They rarely ever actually reach their ceiling. So I think trading down against Jermaine. I actually have a draft. Let me see if I can. I actually had a draft that I had the other day. Let me try to pull it up. I made, and it actually included getting Jermaine. I know some of it might actually really, and it might not be the biggest thing for people. Screenshots, captures. Where did I put it? Oh, there it is. Sure to do this. There we go. I need to remember not to do stream on Mozzarella Firefox. Alright, so here it is. So my draft, I had the Lions trading with Seattle in this scenario. We got Jermaine Johnson, View Chanel, Jaquan Brisker, Kenneth Walker, Justin Ross, Lectica Smith, Zion McCollum, and Marquise Bell. Don't mind their grades. PFF is really dumb with draft grades. Lectica Smith is totally worth a third round pick. But I just think this is really good value. You get yourself an edge of the future, an actual dominant one, in my opinion, who also has versatility like Walker. New Chanel, we need ourselves an actual guy who's good versus the run and versus the pass. I'm sorry, who's good versus the run game. Is a great pass rusher. We don't really have that. We have good coverage guys who are maybe decent versus the run, like Alex Anzalone. And I'm a big fan of Chris Board. Well, not a big fan. I'm a fan of Chris Board. We also got John Van Hampton. We got coverage linebackers. What we need right now is someone who's dominant versus the run and the pass. Jaquan Brisker, I really like his ceiling as a strong safety. I think it's going to be kind of the more fun pick. Kind of maybe risky, but that's what Holmes is kind of been doing. Those like second and third round picks is low ceiling kind of reward kind of guys. Kenneth Walker, I think we need ourselves a dominant run game. Dan Campbell talked about plug running backs. You could run down your threat. Walker can do that. So it's more of your 13, 14 carries a game kind of guy. Justin Ross, this one was kind of more of the, again, risky pick because he does have an injury history, but if he's healthy, he's going to be scary. And he's just someone who can maybe also compete with like Josh Reynolds at receiver 2 spot, and he can maybe become your future receiver 1. And if he's just like, not perfectly healthy, you can just sit him behind there, let him develop, be healthy. Like Smith, future replacement for Big V, so we can drop him next season. Zion McCollum, just another cornerback place to add to competition. And Marquise Bell, I'm a really big fan of him as safety. I think he could really go earlier. I have a 4th round grade on him, maybe late 3rd. But he fell in the 5th, so I took him. If only Will Henderson's going to be out this year. Yeah. Ooh, let me stop screen sharing. So, there we go. And yeah. So before I get starting up, I did want to make an announcement. So first off, that I won't be able to post or do lives until draft time. So like probably the day of the draft, because my family does no screens, not screens, no social media for the month of April. just as a family bonding thing. And then number two, I'm probably going to be less consistent about posting during the spring and summer for multiple reasons. Number one, I am preparing to go on an LDS mission. It's just something I've always wanted to do in my life, and it's just something I've always been preparing for and committed myself to do. And so I will be going on that, and that's going to take up my time. So in August, I will hopefully be going on my LDS mission, and I will be posting for 2 years. So I just wanted to make that announcement. And then getting a job soon as well. So I will be busy. That's going to lead to some inconsistent posting and all that jazz. So that was just something I wanted you guys to announce. So you guys just go, oh, where's Dan? Where's Dan? That's just where I'll be at. And then, yeah, and then I also wanted to say to go subscribe to David Comar's channel, because he is someone who's going to be running a thing we're going to call the Lions Core. And that's going to be where we will be at in the future. And he's someone I think that he would be really fun to follow while I'm gone on my mission for you guys. And of course, he's going to try to bring, I'm sure he'll try to bring in guys like Ram's House and Izzy and all those good fellows who I bring on. But that's just my announcement. But and how I can continue to answer questions and give my own thoughts on things and all that jazz. But also, welcome to the live, Dr. Paparoni. Welcome, man. Yo, my boy, One Pride 40's a homer. Yeah, I am too, because I've looked at every single draft prospect at this point, like at least rounds 1 through 5 ish. The only guy I haven't fully looked at is that ISU defensive tackle Cordell Wilson, and so that's going to be definitely up there. But I'm kind of like just like, okay, let's just wait for the draft to happen already, because it's just like we've been debating this for a while now. So I can also probably give you the list of players that I just do not think will be good. I was getting ready in this quarterback class will be good. I don't think anybody from. I don't think Kayvon Thibodeau will be good. I don't think. Let me actually pull up my list right now. Oh, I guarantee you that Djokovic, I think that's how you say his name. Yeah. Yeah, Djokovic is you're 100% correct. I think he knows what's been going on. And honestly, I think that's what. Yeah. Oh yeah, what's good? Yeah, I've been busy with school, man. Busy with school and family affairs. So, and also I've been trying to work on other videos, and then I get sidetracked because then I start making another one, which I need to start working on. But I'm also, like I was saying earlier, I'm preparing for my LDS mission, so that's also been taking up some time. But yeah, just so long as they don't take the Olympics, I'll be cool. I see how you had the K for Kool-Aid. Yep, that as well. That too. Busy with my girlfriend. Got to flex that I have the girlfriend. But yeah, with Thibodeau, the thing is, he has a ceiling. He definitely has himself a fun ceiling that is high. If he can get it, woohoo, good job. And I think there's even a case for it. We made Charles Harris good. Charles Harris was absolutely borderline okay. And he was fantastic last year. And that was always just a fun thing. Yo, I got 5 members in the live. Awesome. Let's see. Oh, you're gonna be down there for the draft? That'd be awesome. If they allow you, it would be kind of cool if I could like have you on. You can like just show around what the draft room is like. Not draft room, but like the crowd's like over there. Oh, yo, we got a 6-0 in here. And then we got Hard Knocks. It's correct. I'm actually, I actually am kind of excited. Like see what Dan Campbell is like in Hard Knocks. Like, how does he run his practices? Is it going to be just like all around there? Is he, how does our commander in chief Dan freaking Campbell doing? Hey, thank you, man. I actually really appreciate that. It's definitely something I love. I love to do is football analysis, just to have fun and chill out with it. And that's why I always try to become and see all that stuff. And I always like seeing different people's perspectives. Thibodeau doesn't seem like to, huh? Thibodeau doesn't seem like to block. I think maybe I don't know what this meaning. More like Thibodeau don't. Yeah, but if there's by the way, I did want to show everyone. So the lists of players I wouldn't draft. So the players I don't think will be good. Derek Stingley due to injuries. I don't think Charles Cross will ever be that insane. I am not a fan of. Excuse my dog. I'm just not that big of a fan of the Kobe Dean. I think Chris Olave will be good, but I think he's overrated. I don't think he's ever going to be someone insane. I don't think any of the quarterbacks in this draft will be good, besides for maybe Sam Howell. Um, I don't think. I think Ojabo will take a year to be good. I'm not a fan of Travis Jones. I think Daxton Hill is a slot corner. If he doesn't play slot corner, I'm concerned. Uh, let's see. Brian Sumo, I think, is a 50-50 chance. I don't like Kingsley and Nagbear. He's probably one of the few guys I'm sure he's not going to be anything good. And then I'm just not that big of a fan of Christian Harris. Those are probably the biggest names that you guys probably know, so I'm just not that big a fan of. I guess maybe DeMarvin Leal. I know he has a lot of his fans over there. But the next thing I want to show is Justin Ross, because I feel like people forget how good Justin Ross is. Oh, geez. Nice. Nice. Getting that shirt. Cough. 90. Is this Dr. Detroit or is this just the same Dr. Pepperoni for him? I haven't seen Dr. Detroit in forever. Um, one time 40 hop on there with Dan. You know what? I'm actually down to bring on one Pride 40 if he wants. Actually, you know what? If any of you guys want to join, come on. I'd like to hear you guys' words. This is gonna be my last little video to like basically draft. Maybe like I might be able to get a spare day in, but you guys want to come in and join and talk, see what you guys want to do. But I do want to show Justin Ross. I just like kind of remind everyone just how good this guy can be. We'll use Just Bomb Production stuff. Noted. I should know if like you I should know if you like change your name. Okay. Cause I remember there being you too. I just couldn't remember if you guys were the same people or if I was just forgetting. Alright, there we go. Boom. Description. Alright, take that copyright. Alright, so this is a guy who, you know what? Give me a second. I'm gonna sign into my Internet Explorer real quick. For whatever reason, that's the only thing that ever works in StreamYard. Enter Studio. So much easier to work on the studio. And give me a second, gentlemen. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. There we go. Oh, yeah. I'm supposed to go live with you, David. Oh, I'm probably going to talk to David about that. I have to see with the fam and see if they'll allow me to. I'll have to talk to you about that. Welcome to the live One Pride.
And
Wow, I can't speak. One Pride. There we go. So One Pride. Who would you if you were stuck at two? Who would you take?
well, I'm in between Hamilton. Yes, I get it, positional value, blah blah blah, but he's probably the best player on the board. That might help you, but I'm between him. Hell, I might. This might be a little bit of an unpopular opinion. I'm like, if I'm stuck at two, I'm either go Jermaine Johnson or Kyle Hamilton. One of those two.
So yeah, I'm really high on Jermaine Johnson too. It's just he's he's, he's probably my edge too. Like my it goes Hutch, him, and depending how I'm feeling, maybe Walker is the guy who competes with him at number two. That's
Right.
mostly because I'm just not a big fan of the guys who go, ooh, super athletic, draft him, because there's just so many examples of guys who are super athletic that fail on the NFL level.
Oh, 100%.
That
What's
and,
a? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Jermaine Johnson's like not like this unathletic guy. I believe he had a 9 score RAS. Let
Right.
me pull that up real quick.
Hey, some people may like frown upon the pick because he's not best player available. I mean, but if I'm stuck between top two guys, I'm stuck between best player available or if I go positional value. I mean, if I don't like Karloftis and I don't like um if I don't like Karloftis and I don't like Trayvon Walker, why not just go Jermaine Johnson?
Yeah, I don't know. Hold up. I did not realize this. I thought he had like a 9.07, but Jermaine Johnson is a 9.62 RAS score, and Kayvon Thibodeau has a 9.71. Like they have very close RAS scores, and Jermaine Johnson did more like combine stuff, and he hasn't even had his pro day yet. So if he has a good bench, he could possibly have a better RAS score
Right.
than Thibodeau. And they ran
Yeah.
the exact same 40 time. Jermaine Johnson was slightly slower on the 20-yard split,
Mm-hmm.
and slightly slower at like literally at the 10-yard split. It was a 3 second difference.
Right.
So Jermaine's just as fast basically as Kayvon.
Mm-hmm.
He has better height, like the exact same weight as him. Um, Longer arms, bigger hands, more production. He was way better on defending.
Mm-hmm.
Jermaine Johnson. Jermaine Johnson. Oh my gosh, that guy should really just be a number 2 overall pick, man. Why he really is my most underrated player in my draft.
Oh yeah.
He's just as athletic as Kevin Thibodeau in terms of size and hands. He's a more polished player. Really, the only like in my big board is literally Hutch, Johnson, Ahmed Gardner, Kyle Hamilton. Those are my.
That's
Those,
not a big board to be honest. Well, unless you
I mean,
count.
for like an actual like talent, but it's also technically in terms of my big board. Yeah, I have a lot. I'm just not a big fan of a lot of guys. Perhaps
Well,
it's some
right.
of the pessimism of me, but
Right. So, what do you think of us going on Hard Knocks and us getting the 2024 draft?
I'm very excited about the draft, and I'm pleasantly happy about Hard Knocks. I've never like watched it. I watched one actually, and that was when the Cardinals had it with Arians, I believe. That was the only time I ever watched Hard Knocks.
Was that? I
I
remember.
I'm just anything that has Campbell involved, and I get to watch Campbell makes me happy.
Okay. All right. Well, I just want to see like how this organization operates. Like, we've been so used to incompetency for years, and we want to see what it looks like, what they're doing behind the scenes.
Yeah. Well, and I'm also just excited to see how the leaders and players all respond to Campbell and his plays.
Right. Now, could you imagine if they picked us for Hard Knocks only had Patricia? Oh my God, that'd be boring.
Probably. I mean, you probably would have heard a lot of yelling because that's all Patricia did.
Right.
Dr. Pepperoni says, in some parallel universe, we draft Hamilton and Sauce. I think we would have a great secondary.
No
That would be
doubt.
pretty cool. Somehow you trade back with the Jets and or Giants, and you get Hamilton and Sauce. That would be pretty insane.
Mm-hmm.
But I doubt they would ever give up their two firsts. But
Right. See, I'm
um,
all for trading back because let's say I know you're a big golf fan, but if golf bombs next year, we got 3 first-round picks. We could trade 2 away to get a quarterback.
well, I think that there's more than just that reason to trade back. I mean, trading back, you get someone who's more likely to be a value. Say we trade back with Atlanta. Jermaine Johnson, pick 8, great value. Trayvon Walker, pick 8, great value. Ahmad Gardner, pick 8, great value. It's way better than just forcing yourself to pick someone at number 2 just because
Right.
you don't like him. And I think it'd be fair because if a team like, say, Atlanta trades up, they're going for a guy who they believe in, which would clearly probably be like a Malik Willis. And so they
Yeah.
believe in the guy. So it wouldn't per se be bad. And I've had some fair trade scenarios made up for that. They gave up like 2 second-round picks and they gave up their 8th pick and maybe a 4th. Not a huge deal like you would get for in a normal draft, but it's still a great deal.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing, like you said with trading, we also have our Rams pick, and we're gonna have
Right.
our draft pick. Jared Goff does bomb next year, which by the way, Goff will not be in the middle. He's gonna be either amazing or he's gonna do absolutely awful. I really just don't think he'll play like an average quarterback because if he does fail, it's going to be hardcore. But that gives you a chance to have a top 10 pick and you give up your 32nd, and maybe you have you use your extra second or something to trade up.
Right, for a quarterback.
Yeah.
But like next year's crop of quarterbacks, I really do like. CJ Stroud's a big one, and I'm not sure. And I forgot about Grayson McCall. Grayson McCall is a really good one too. And then you got Bryce Young. Those are my top 3.
I absolutely love the 2023 class so far. Last year there was really only one quarterback who I really had any interest in, and that was Sam Howell.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like Spencer Rattler. I thought his tape was
Right.
horrible, and hallelujah, he proved me right. I mean, I guess I shouldn't say hallelujah for the fall of a player, but nonetheless, huzzah, I was right. And, that's such a different draft class. When last year there was only 2 guys who were really going to be worth being draftable, and both of those guys ended up not even being, might not even be drafted now
Mm-hmm.
in the first round. So now it's just kind of this one's way better. I love Grayson McCall. I love Tyler Van Dyke, especially if he makes his progressions next year. I think he will.
Honestly, Grayson
Um,
McCall reminds me of Justin Herbert.
yeah, I think there's a lot of similarities. I'm not a huge fan of normally comparing. I think if I do compare, generally it's like production, but I think Grayson McCall does have some Herbert attributes. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm also a fan of CJ, and that's something big because normally I'm not a fan of drafting Ohio State quarterbacks. That's just because I think he has everything that the Ohio State quarterbacks didn't have in the past. He's
Right.
mobile. He's not like a Justin Fields mobile or like a Terrell Pryor mobile, but he's able to move around. He's able to escape the pocket and kind of run
Mm-hmm.
and move it around. But
Right.
he's an amazing pocket passer, like Haskins was, or for example. Except I actually think he's also better at making reads. But he has those attributes, and I think he's a hard worker. So I do think if there's going to be an OSU quarterback to succeed, it would be Stroud.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
And I think Bryce Young is even a good quarterback. He's probably, I mean, I know he's definitely not, he's probably the least physically gifted in terms of the 3 quarterbacks like Van Dyke and McCall and Stroud. But his processing of the field and his release and his mobility make him a really good quarterback.
See, I view him as a Russell Wilson a little bit, in my opinion. Like, he could process the field no problem, but he throws a pretty good ball, in my opinion. Like, my God, he carved up one of the best defenses in the country last year.
Yeah. Well, the thing is with with Bryce Young is I've always said he's the player everyone wished Kyler Murray wished he would be, and unfortunately, I think I just think he'd be that better player. Or I just it's not really a comparison in my opinion for Bryce because I don't think he's quite Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson's an even better runner than he was,
Mm-hmm.
and I think he has just some amazing play. But Young is just a fantastic quarterback prospect, and it's
Yes.
a much better draft class next year. It's not going to be a repeat of 2013 or 2021 or 2020. Sorry, not 2020, 2022
Mm-hmm.
draft class.
2021 draft class was really good for quarterbacks too. I mean, Zach Wilson's got a lot of promise.
Ironically, a lot of those guys have just not worked out. Really, it's only been Mac Jones and Davis Mills who have looked promising.
Yeah, but I'm really biased towards Zach Wilson, so I got rocking my boy if you know what I mean.
Yeah, well, I do too. I'm a BYU. I'm halfway a BYU fan, probably due to religious reasons. But Zach had a really bad year in terms of accuracy and even touchdown pick ratio. He had more interceptions than touchdowns. Now I will say this: his O line was garbage. He was number one in pressure rate, I believe, or number two, one of those two. And his top receiver was a rookie slot receiver. His running game was awful. His scheme was meh. His defense was awful. So I'm hoping that next year, because he did have a couple like good end of the stretch there where he had a touchdown his last three games, and he showed some ability as a runner, but he's just got to improve. And I think there's a possibility he does. We'll see. But all right. So does anyone else want to come on? Because I think I'm probably gonna end the live. I got some schoolwork I got to do.
So, all right, one thing. So, if you had to rank the quarterbacks in 2023, where would you rank them? Like 1 through 5, I guess, or is that too much?
No, that's fine. I'm also a fan of Hendon Hooker, so I have a five. Um, it's kind of hard right now. I would say currently, I would go. It's a bit of projection in a way because currently, I think QB1 Stroud, QB2 is Young, QB3 is McCall, QB4 is Van Dyke. No, yeah, no. Number 4 is Hendon Hooker. Number 5 is Van Dyke or Van Dyke, one of the two.
Mm-hmm.
But in my projection, I think Van Dyke will either become the 1 or 2, with Grayson McCall being the 1 or 2 as well. With number 3 being Young, number 4 being Stroud, number 5 being Hooker. I don't think Hendon Hooker will get that far. And the reasoning being is I think McCall and Van Dyke's physical attributes will win out, and the fact that McCall is insanely accurate. And I do think Van Dyke's ability being tall, having long arms, and being able to move will get him his fair share of fans, especially if he makes progression as a player. I think Young's physical attributes are going to get him his per se haters. The thing is, I think there's a real possibility that we're going to have 4 quarterbacks taken in the top 10
Wow. Oh
because
yeah, I can see that too.
well, especially these guys are all good, I totally see it. Especially with the amount of, especially if a lot of teams aren't going to draft quarterbacks this year. Carolina's talked about playing with Darnold for another year. Atlanta could go with Marcus Mariota for another year. Seattle's talked about doing Drew Lock for another year. Pittsburgh has Mitch Trubisky, and I'm not convinced. Who else is a team that see heck 49ers might bust a Trey Lance. You never know. Um, let's see. New York, I could also see get a quarterback. They could try to get a new guy in there. There's so many teams I think that could actually go for it, and it could be a giant class. But I gotta go, One Pride. I will see you later. Thanks for coming on. Thanks you everyone for coming on. It was great, and see you all later.
Yeah, see you later, man.